Good afternoon, students. So, in the previous chapter we have completed, in the previous session we have completed exercise 1.1 on the basis of some rules which we have derived, that addition of two positive numbers, addition of two negative numbers, subtraction of positive and negative numbers. On the basis of that we have discussed exercise 1.1. Now move further. The next topic is properties of addition and subtraction of integers. So here in this session we discuss only for addition and subtraction. We have also the same property of multiplication and division for integers, that we will discuss after this one. So I have listed out main properties. First one is your closure property, then commutative property, then associative property, additive identity and additive inverse. These are the main properties which we are going to understand with the help of examples. So first we see closure property. Okay? So understand the closure property first with the help of examples. So if you consider two integers, we can consider any numbers, but the concept is that numbers should be integers. Suppose I consider 5 and minus 8. These are the two integers. If you add these two integers to the addition, 5 plus minus 8, what is the answer? 5 minus, we are adding negative numbers. So obviously we are getting negative answer, which is equal to minus 3. And we know that minus 3 also belongs to integers, means minus 3 also there in the set of integers. We know that 5, minus 8, minus 3, these all numbers present in the integers. So what is the commutative closure property says? Closure property says that if you have two numbers, that numbers are integers, when you do the addition of that two numbers which are integers, whatever answer you are getting, that number is also comes in the integers. So what we can say for in general, suppose you have two integers a and b, and when you take a plus b, if your answer is c, then c is also an integer. So this is the closure property for addition of integer. Same we discuss closure property for subtraction. So same we take two examples. Two integers. Suppose I am taking 2 and minus 4. Now I do the subtraction. So 2 minus of minus 4. So what is our answer? 2 minus minus become plus 4. So what is our answer? 6. What is the property says? If you have two integers, when you do the subtraction, after subtraction whatever answer you are getting, that number is also integer. So this is closure property for subtraction of integers. Some more examples are already given in your textbook, so we discuss that examples together. See on page number 6, statement is given 17 plus 23 will give you 40. So result 40 is integer, minus 10 plus 3 will give you minus 7. Minus 7 is an integer. Minus 75 plus 18, whatever answer you are getting, that is also an integer. So you yourself can find the answers. Fill in the blank is given, you yourself do the addition or subtraction and check whether whatever number as an answer you are getting, that is integer or not. Same way, so what we can say, integers are closed under addition. So in general we can say if you have two integers a and b, a plus b is also an integer. Same way if you go for the subtraction, 7 minus 9 will give you minus 2, that is also an integer. 17 minus of minus 21, here you have to do the addition, that is 17 plus 21. So what is the answer? 38, and 38 is also an integer. So you do the addition or subtraction by yourself and check whatever answer you are getting, that is an integer or not. So what we can say then, if we have two integers a and b and we do the subtraction, whatever answers we are getting, that is also an integer. So what we can that integers are closed under subtraction. So for closure property, addition and subtraction both are whole. So this is what about our first property. Now move on to the second property, that is commutative property. This also we understand with the help of examples. First we discuss for addition, then we discuss for subtraction, then whatever examples are given in your textbook, that we will see. So whenever you see the video, please keep the textbook with you so that you can compare. Wherever I have given answers, wherever I have given you homework, so you can list it out there. So now we discuss commutative property. First understand with the help of example. Suppose you have 5 and minus 4. This both the numbers are integers. 5 and minus 4 both are integers. Now I do the addition. 5 plus minus 4. What is my answer? 5 minus 4. This is equal to 1. Now I can try to do the addition like this, minus 4 plus 1. What I did, I will explain you. This is minus 4 plus 5. What is the answer? 1. Why? 1 is negative, 1 is positive. We always do the subtraction, but the sign of the answer is always sign of the bigger number. So what you observe? What you observe? Here I have written 5 plus then minus 4. Here I have written minus 4 first and then 5. Means if you have two integers and if you change the order of integers and do the addition, then also you are getting the same answer. I have changed the order of addition. First I have written 5, but here I have written minus 4. So I have interchanged the order of the addition. And then whatever answer I am getting, both the answers are same. So what we can say? In general, what we can say? Suppose we have two integers a and b, and if I do the addition, a plus b is always equal to b plus a. Suppose the answer is C. What I can say? A plus b is always equal to b plus a. I have changed the order of addition. I am getting the same answer. So this is your commutative property for addition. So commutative property hold for addition for integers. Now we move for the subtraction. Let's see whether it's hold or not. Okay, so first same example we are taking 5 and minus 4. Both the numbers are integers. So first I subtract 5 minus 4. So what answer I am getting? Minus become plus. 5 plus 4 which is equal to 9. Now I change the order of subtraction. Minus 4 minus 5. First I have written minus 4 then 5. Here I have written 5 first, then do the subtraction, then minus 4. Here what is my answer? Minus 9. See the answer. One is positive, one is negative. It doesn't mean both are same. Here I am getting plus 9, here I am getting minus 9. So what we can say? For subtraction, if you are choosing two integers, during the subtraction if you interchange or change the order of subtraction, you are not getting the same answer. So what we can say? Commutative property does not hold for subtraction of an integer. Why? Because when we change the order of subtraction, means if you consider a minus b is never equal to b minus a. So this is our commutative property. Now see in your textbook, for this we can say a plus b is always equal to, we are getting integer, and for subtraction also we are getting integer. But here for commutative property does not call for subtraction, it is hold for the addition also. Don't worry, don't write this. Now we move on to the examples which are given in your textbook. So see in your textbook. So we know that 3 plus 5 is equal to 5 plus 3 is equal to 8, means 3 and 5 both are integers, and when we do the addition we are getting the answer 8, that is also an integer. Suppose you have 5 plus minus 6, you are getting answer minus 1. Change the order, minus 6 plus 5, again you are getting the answer minus 1. Okay. So some examples are given to you. You can try to check whether commutative property hold for addition or not. So in general what we can say? Sums are different when the order is changed. No, we are getting the same answer when the order change. So what we can say? Addition in commutative for integers. So addition for commutative property hold for addition of integers, but for subtraction it does not hold. So that also we have discussed. So subtraction is not commutative for integer. Okay. Now we move on to the third property, that is associative property. So we take the examples which is already given in your textbook, then we will understand the concept. We have minus 5, minus 3 and minus 2. These three integers we have taken. Now what is the concept? Suppose you have taken 3 integers, then if we make a group of any 2 integers, we can interchange the order of grouping. Let's understand this concept. Suppose first I will take minus 5, minus 3. This is my first group, and then plus minus 2, which is equal to. Now I change the order of this group. First I have grouped first 2 numbers, these 2 numbers. Now I group these 2 numbers, that is minus 3 and minus 2. So what I write? Minus 5 plus minus 3 plus minus 2. When I solve this, I am getting the same answer for both. First, I will group first 2 numbers in addition, and this number remain as it is alone. Then I group this 2 numbers and minus 5 remain alone. So when you solve this, let's solve this. Minus 5 plus minus 3, what is the answer? Minus 5 minus 3. So it is minus 8 plus minus 2. So what is your answer? Minus 10. So for this, my answer is minus 10. Now I solve this one. This minus 5 remain as it is. Minus 3 minus 2, what is your answer? Minus 5. And minus 5 minus 5, what is your answer? Minus 10. We are getting the same answer. Okay, so what we can say? Associative property hold under addition of integer. Again I am repeating. If you have 3 integers, minus 5, minus 3 and minus 2, then what we have to do? We have to do the addition, but for addition we make group of 2 numbers. So first I group these 2 numbers and plus minus 2 remain as it is. Then I group these 2 numbers and then I do the addition. So first I do this addition, minus 5 minus 3 will give you minus 8. Then minus 2 as it is, minus 8 minus 2 will give you minus 10. Next I have grouped last 2 numbers, minus 3 minus 5 is minus 5. Minus 5 if you add in that, so you are getting minus 10. So both the way you are getting the same answer. So what we can say? Associative property hold under addition of integers. In general, how will you write this? Let's see. So in general, suppose you have 3 integers A, B and C. So first I take the group of this first 2 number, that is A plus B. This is my group, means we are keeping in one bracket, plus C, which is always equal to. Now I interchange the group. Now A plus B is not my group. Now B plus C is my group. B plus C. Then also I am getting the same answer. So this is associative property for addition. Now we see whether it's hold for the subtraction or no. In commutative property we have learned that when you change the order of integers and when you do the subtraction operation, you are not getting the same answer. So same way, if you are changing the order of grouping for the subtraction, again you are not getting the same answer. It is a common sense. No need to take the example and solve it. It is given in your textbook, it's okay. But in general, if you want to talk, then if it is for subtraction, or if commutative property does not hold, means it does not hold for associative property also. If you want, we will check this with the help of examples. Let's see. Consider -2, -3, -1. These are the three integers. Now first I group these two numbers, -2 minus of -3. We are taking for the subtraction, always your middle sign is subtraction. Minus of -1. Okay, which is always equal to -2 minus of -3 minus of -1. This we want to check whether it's equal to or not. Okay, everywhere I have to keep minus because we are subtracting. So first we solve for this first. This -2 minus minus plus 3 minus minus plus 1. So here what is your answer? -2 plus 3 is 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2. So while solving this side, I am getting answer 2. Now for here -2 minus in bracket -3 minus minus plus 1, which is equal to -2 minus -3 plus 1 is -2 minus 2 minus minus plus 2. So what is the answer? 0. Do you get the same answer? When you solve this examples, LHS side you are getting the answer 2, RHS side you are getting the answer 0. So what we can say, we are not getting the same answer because 2 is never equal to 0. So what we can say, this is not equal to 0. So we can say that for subtraction, associative property does not hold for integers. Okay? So this is all about your main three properties, that is closure property, commutative property and associative property. Now understand the next is additive identity and additive inverse. Identity means what? First understand this word. Identity means if you add something in any number or if you subtract from something from any number, that number remains same. There is no change in the value of that particular number. Okay. When it is possible? When it is possible, suppose I am adding something in the 5, I am getting the answer 5, or I am subtracting from 5, I am getting the same answer 5. When it is possible. Okay, when you keep here 0. When you keep here 0 means 5 plus 0, 5, 5 minus 0, 5. So when you add something in a number or subtract something from a number, your answer will remain same. That something is what? 0. Means when you add 0 in any number, when you subtract 0 from any number, there is no change in the value of that particular number. Means that identity of that number remains same. So what we can say? Additive identity of any number is what? 0. Okay, understood? So additive identity of any number is 0. This is one more property. Now the last property, which is not given in your textbook, but it is very useful, that additive inverse. In 8th standard it is there, but get some idea about it. Inverse means what? When you add something in the number or subtract from the number, the answer is always additive identity. Means the answer is always 0. For example, same example. What you are adding over here, so your answer is 0. And what you are subtracting from here, then your answer is 0. This something is your additive inverse. What you will add over here, so that your answer is 0. So what we can say? -5. If you add 5 and -5, or you can say if you add -5 in 5, your answer is 0. And if you subtract 5 from 5, your answer is 0. So what we can say? 5 and minus 5 both are additive inverse of each other. Suppose you have 10. If you subtract 10 minus 10, your answer is 0. So 10 and minus 10 both are additive inverse. Okay, so this is all about the additive inverse. Next we will see for multiplication. Thank you.